and welcome to another episode of Tea Talks, where we talk about different tea cultures around the world. If you are watching this episode for the first time, this is where you can expand your tea knowledge as well as your brewing skills. So in this episode, we are going to talk about Japanese tea and what makes it unique. We are going to talk about tea ceremonies, which is a very famous cultural aspect of Japan, and also we are going to show you how to make a good cup of matcha tea, as well as how to add matcha tea to your diet. So make sure you stay with us until the end of this episode. So our guest today is a Japanese tea master who lives in The Hague. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Miyuki Oda. I came from Japan almost 5 years ago. And I have a small tea salon at my home in The Hague. And the people who want to learn about Japanese tea, I can introduce you everything about tea. Thank you.
That's great. We are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
So let's begin. Could you tell us about when and how tea was introduced to Japan?
We have long history. Japan was built 1,300 years ago, and we learned a lot from China. 1,200 years ago, a Zen monk who studied in China, he brought tea, green tea, from China to Japan. That is the beginning of tea in Japan.
Okay, very interesting. So what does tea symbolize in Japanese culture?
We drink tea all the time, every day. We have a breakfast with tea, and when I just arrived the office, first we have tea, morning tea, and tea break. At the lunchtime, we drink tea. All the time, we have tea.
Okay, great. So making tea and serving tea in Japan is an art. It's not only a form of art, but also a spiritual discipline.
Yeah.
And I think the highlight of the role of tea in Japanese life is shown in these tea ceremonies. So maybe we can talk about a little bit about the history of tea ceremonies and the meaning behind it, and why is it so important in the Japanese culture.
Okay. Tea ceremony actually it was 700 years ago. This time again, a Buddhist Zen monk, he brought matcha powder from China to Japan. It was the beginning of tea ceremony. All political matters were talked in tea room, such as samurai commander and the emperors. They talk, they consult, everything in the tea room.
Yeah, very interesting. So there is an important concept behind the tea ceremony, and that's the concept of wabi-sabi. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah. In one word, if I say wabi-sabi, it's how we make everything simple. Simple is the best. So if you get into tea room, the tea room is very small, and just we have tatami mat and kettle, and like this, tea tools. That's all.
So everything is about the simplicity.
Yes, simplicity.
And see the beauty in the simple things in life.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
So what types of tea ceremonies do you have in Japan? What sort of tea do you use? And is there any etiquette, or what is the ritual?
Okay. So matcha tea ceremony became very popular in the world. But in Japan, in fact, we have two types of tea ceremony. One is, of course, matcha tea ceremony, and another one it's called sencha tea ceremony. Maybe in Europe, green tea, fronte. It's popular, I think. We have also not only matcha, we have sencha. So we infuse the tea and we drink something like water. To get into tea ceremony, we have host and guest. And all the time, the host prepare everything what he or she can do for the guest. It's, I can say, hospitality. If you get into really traditional matcha tea ceremony, it takes 4 or 5 hours.
Wow. How do you serve tea in the ceremony?
In the ceremony, in the tea ceremony, the host make matcha bowl one by one. And in the tea room, we have the guest, first guest, second guest, third guest. They have the rule.
Okay.
Yeah. And the host and first guest, this first guest is called the oshokyaku. And he or she and the host make conversation. Yes. And others just follow.
Nice. So let's go and show our audience how you're making a traditional matcha tea, and then we will be back. So we are back, and we want to talk about matcha tea. So matcha is very popular around the world nowadays, and the finest matcha tea comes from Japan.
Thank you.
So what is matcha, and what is the differences between matcha and green tea?
Okay, matcha is a powder of green tea, but even I say green tea, the cultivation is different. When we make matcha powder, the tea plant should be cultivated in under the shade. So normally when the farmer cultivate tea plant, it's under open air.
Yeah.
Open air, and we have both powdered green tea and matcha powder. It's difference. The difference comes from how the plant was cultivated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the matcha is in the shadow and the normal tea fields were open air. So what are the health benefits associated with matcha tea? It's a superfood.
Yeah, matcha is a superfood. Matcha contains lots of vitamin C and lots of minerals, and the nutrition is almost perfect. And the matcha, not only matcha, all Japanese green tea has lots of health benefit. And the most, the first one, I think, it has antibacterial. It has the power of antibacterial. So it is very good to prevent getting flu. And also matcha.
It's also full of antioxidants, isn't it?
Yes, full of antioxidant, anti-aging, and it's good for blood circulation, and the minerals help keep us healthy and
in shape. I heard that it's good for diet. If you want to lose weight, it's also one of the good choices to add matcha to your diet.
Yeah, so it is very good. Maybe in the morning, matcha contains caffeine, so it's better to take in the morning. And every morning, just a small amount of matcha put in your smoothie or anything.
I also heard that matcha has antidepressant effects. So nowadays it's almost winter time and it's getting cold. So maybe some way to boost the mood is to also drink matcha tea during the day and go green to fight the blues.
And also, but be careful if you take matcha powder very late evening, you may not sleep
because of high amount of caffeine. So that's a very good point.
If you drink matcha, and then you will be boosted.
Okay, great. So brewing a cup of matcha isn't the only way that you can use matcha powder. There are other creative ways that you can add this superfood to your recipes and get a boost of nutrition. So let's take a look.
No, I have never tried this.
Okay.
No, not before. No.
Yes, I have.
Yes?
Yeah.
A big fan?
Yeah, actually quite, yeah.
Okay.
Tastes, quite good. Like a sushi leaf drink.
It's very fresh. It's a little bit bitter at the end, sort of, but
Cream cheese, yes.
This is also good.
You get the tea flavor. It's slightly more out there. Yeah.
Nice.
no, it's very interesting. It sort of adds a whole extra layer to the cheese. But so you start with the cheese and then it opens up, sort of. It's nice.
Chocolate.
Chocolates?
Yeah, this is also good.
So the next one is ice cream. Add some matcha powder on top.
This is really good.
I think in this one the ice cream tastes the strongest, so perhaps I should add a little bit more. With the other ones, it was really enriching to have the extra matcha with it.
I quite like this one. If you ask me, up till now, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I like it that you sprinkled like the tea powder on it.
Yeah.
I really like, that slightly bitter green tea flavor in
So
there.
vanilla. So which one is your favorite?
Yeah, I would say the ice cream.
The ice cream?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I might even say the tea in itself, but because and also the chocolate one.
Great.
I think those two are my favorites. Yeah.
We are back, and I want one last question to ask you. So, what about tea in modern Japan? Aside from matcha tea, what other source of tea is nowadays popular in Japan?
Nowadays, people are busy, and people don't have time to enjoy tea with teapot. So in Japan, we have many type of bottled tea. They are without sugar. Without sugar. For example, sencha, maybe you may know sencha. Not only sencha, we have gen matcha. It's a green tea. Sencha added roasted rice. We are people of rice. We eat rice a lot. So tea plus rice. And also, we have roasted green tea. It's called hojicha. That one is also popular. And mugicha, we also enjoy Chinese tea, oolong tea. This kind of bottled tea, you can find easily at any supermarket.
Do you have any tips for our viewers about how to choose a good quality matcha? What are different sorts of matcha are there, and where they can buy matcha tea in Netherlands?
Okay. Nowadays, people can buy matcha powder everywhere. At supermarket, Asian shop, anywhere you can buy it. But just one thing you'd better to know. Let's have a look at these colors. And this one, it's sold as matcha, but in fact, it's just a green tea.
Oh.
And this matcha, slightly the color is different.
Yeah.
And this one has a deep green color, deeper
Yeah.
green color. In general, this is in general, the deeper green color has good taste. And one thing, it's very important, after you open the package, you need to keep matcha powder all the time airtight.
Yes.
This is the point. Only after 2-3 days later, you will recognize the matcha powder is going to be oxidized.
So, and where can they order matcha tea in Netherlands? Are there any shops or websites that they can order? People can order matcha tea, good quality ones.
Yeah, of course, I have good matcha.
Yes.
You can order me. And nowadays, if you go to a website online, you will find many matcha powder. Even from Japan, you can place the order, and they will post it to you. Maybe you need to wait 2-3 weeks again.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today and share your beautiful stories with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you liked what you saw, please give us a thumbs up and click subscribe so you can follow along. Also, if you would like to join us in the next episode of Tea Talk and share your stories, please send us an email to conceptstore-x@tudelft.nl. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.